Hello, you guys. Welcome to One Rain's Fangirl channel. I'm your girl Asia from the One Rain's Fangirl channel. We're back here today reviewing another episode from season 13 of Degrassi. We're reviewing episode 9, season 13, called Young Forever. Now, I totally forgot. I don't really remember Adam's funeral episode all that much because I never was a fan of them killing him off. But Adam's episode was definitely a tearjerker. I felt really sad for Drew and Becky because they were really the ones who took a huge loss. And I feel like the episode was really about their POV from, losing Adam. Adam is really one of those characters in Degrassi that I feel like they always nerfed, they always fucked him up, never knew what to do with his character. And I always loved Adam. Adam was such a sweet person. He was just so sweet. And I feel like they could have did more with Adam. Like, Adam deserved more. So off top, Adam's death was really horribly written. I wasn't a fan of them killing him off. And at the end of the day, it does nothing to Drew or Becky's character after this. It does nothing. After the following episodes, when they go back to school, if you want to do this thing where Adam's death affects Drew, you should have did it better, Degrassi. You should have wrote in it better. Because how does Drew sleeping around with Zoe why? Again, they're saying, oh, it's because of him and Bianca breaking up. Child, no, I feel like it had a lot to do with him just being sad in general, like losing Bianca and everything like that. Like, it's just annoying because Degrassi, they was nerfing shit left and right in this season. I'm gonna say that right now. Drew's character is like one of the main things that was nerfed in this season, and y'all gonna hear me like really rant and be like really mad as fuck when it comes to his character. But I definitely understood where Drew was coming from in this episode. He was really sad and really grieving, and I feel like he just wanted to be alone. I am someone who does not take death well. I don't like viewing funerals. I don't like because it's crazy because I lost 2 dogs, right? I love animals, and my dogs were like very, very, they were like my heart, for real, for real. So I feel like when I lost them, a piece of me kind of died, and I feel like whatever the pieces that I loved a lot with my dogs, I kind of had to bury that with them so I wouldn't be sad anymore or whatever it was, because I didn't want to be sad anymore once my dogs left. Like, once my dogs passed away, I didn't think about them, I didn't talk about them, I just couldn't because it just hurt too much. But then I kind of got to this thing where I kind of got to this space where, me talking about my dogs, I don't want to think about, their last days of dying. I want to think about the good things that they did for me. How they made me feel loved, how they appreciated me, how when I didn't have anyone to talk to, I feel like they listened to me. So I feel like with Drew, he was not wrong if he felt like he wanted to be alone or he didn't want to hear anyone tell him it's going to get better, because once you lose someone, you kind of don't feel like things are going to get better. You don't know how you're going to continue life without having someone there for you. And I feel like Drew and Adam had the very best sibling relationship on the show. So, of course, Drew took his death hard because Adam was like his best fucking friend. You feel me? So, I feel like Drew's character, just his emotions in this episode is what made me like Drew tears, because I felt for Drew. Like, I felt for him. And it just felt good to see Bianca. It felt good to see Dave. Characters that just, either graduated or left the show for some odd reasons, come back to view Adam's funeral. I like that. I really did. I love the visual for Adam because I feel like Adam deserved it. Even though Degrassi fucked up his character and nerfed his character a lot, I definitely feel like he should have had a better send-off than just dying in a hospital. I really did love the visual for him. The scene where Drew was watching the last interview he took of Adam, talk about how Adam's, his journey so far in Degrassi, and how even though it had some hardships at the end, he made a lot of good friends and found a love in his life and his soulmate in Degrassi. That shit really had me crying because it's just like, why did they kill Adam off? It was stupid. It does nothing to the show. It does nothing to Drew or Becky's characters at the end of the day, because after this episode, which is episode 8. I think I just said right. Yes. After episode 8, titled "Young Forever," it's like these Adam's death doesn't even affect Becky and Drew anymore. And it's like they kind of want to, they try to make it like it does up until they get together, which is just stupid because it's just dumb. But we're going to get there when we get there. But I definitely feel like this episode is definitely an episode that I feel like I have no memory of watching because, like I said, because I was so pissed they killed Adam's character off, I kind of avoided it. But, you know, we are rewatching Degrassi. And like I said, since we are doing episode reviews that I have no memory of or just don't remember, I'm actually happy that I actually did watch this, and I'm glad that this episode was just all about Adam. You know, it was not about the kids in Paris. It was just all about Adam. So I did love that. I do wish Adam's character would have got more flowers. I wish his character felt more important to the Degrassi community because, again, Adam was the very first trans character on Teen Drama. He walked so all these other trans characters or how or other shows try to write trans characters in shows and movies or whatever it might be. He started that, and I feel like because Adam's character was either nerfed or because they didn't know how to they didn't know how to write him so well, his character doesn't get recognition for that, and I kind of hate that. So I'm saying this now. Adam character walks so all them other trans characters that they write in TV shows and movies can fucking run, and that's just period. That's just how I motherfucking feel. Period. I do feel like once Adam died, I feel like Becky's character had no reason to stay in the show anymore. She is one of those characters I feel like who overstayed the fuck out of her welcome. I feel like they should have just moved her. I feel like they should have just moved her and her entire family back to Florida. Bye, get the fuck out of here, kick rocks. Because her character did nothing but overstay her welcome. Because at the end of this, they end up putting her with Drew, which is just really, really fucking unnecessary. So fucking uncalled for. And it's like the only reason I love when Becky character stayed was when she was there for Zoe after what her brother did. But then she turned around in season 14 and pisses me off after that situation. So Becky character had no reason to stay once Adam died. She overstayed her welcome. Like I said, this episode was it was good. I loved everything about it. Adam definitely deserved his flowers and recognition in this episode. I loved that it was all about him and nobody else because his character deserved it. The love and appreciation his character got in this episode should have been how his character should have been treated from the fucking beginning, not towards the end of his days. So I definitely have a problem with that. I'm giving these episodes giving this episode a 10 out of 10 because it's definitely well deserved. Like I said, it made me cry, made me tear up because I won't say Adam was one of my favorite characters. You know what? Yeah, Adam was definitely one of my favorite characters from Degrassi. He's one of my favorites, even though he didn't get a lot of material. Because there are other characters I can say I are my favorites too, even though they didn't get a lot of material. Like Ellie, like Sean. I feel like, you know, even though they stopped getting material or whatever it was, they're still some of my favorite characters because of storylines that they did have and acting scenes that they did have. So, yeah, so this is season 13 for Degrassi, episode 8 called Young Forever. Catch you guys in my other review.